Here we are in beautiful Memphis, Tennessee, the 2005 Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships. I mean, this is the fastest sport in the world. Ball's going 200 miles an hour, and this the grandest stage, the US Open.
Biggest tournament of the year, every year. The sport's only true Grand Slam. 8 of the last 9 year-end #1 players won here in Memphis, so they all understand that the road to #1 comes through the US Open.
Now, after hundreds of players playing this event, we're down to the quarterfinals. You've got Cliff Swain, used to say arguably known as the greatest player of all time. I don't think there's any argument now. He's the greatest player to ever play this game, playing 20 years on tour.
6-time #1 player, won his first tournament 20 years ago, still competitive today, a threat to win any tournament, and really this season, if he wins this tournament, he's the front runner to be #1.
I mean, his opponent is Alvaro Beltran. Let's talk about Alvaro now and see what he had to deal with to get to Cliff Swain.
Well, Alvaro's a great player, been playing the tour, coming over from Mexico for many years, had a very tough route to the quarters, played a tough Canadian player, Mike Green, in the round of 32, and then had a tough round of 16 as well. I think he's going to have a real challenge keeping up with Cliff today.
Alvaro definitely knows he's got his hands full. Let's see what he has to say about playing Cliff Swain today.
I'm expecting a battle. I mean, Cliff, it's the ultimate warrior, and we played once the first tournament, the first Pro Step of the year. I beat him, so I'm expecting him to come to bring everything he has. The first tournament where I beat him, I was drive serving very well. I was trying to hit everything to his backhand, and I'm gonna come out with the same strategy.
You know, Alvaro seems like he's ready for this match, but I mean, he is playing Cliff Swain, Aaron.
Yeah, Alvaro's an experienced pro player. He's beaten Cliff before, so he believes he can win, but Cliff clearly has the mental edge and really is playing better ball right now, so I've got Cliff as a favorite in this match.
So now, Cliff Swain's draw leading up to this match against Alvaro.
Cliff has just not been tested at all. He's had a very easy route to the quarterfinals, which is good for Cliff because at age 39, he can use all the breaks, but he has not had a difficult match. The most points he's given up in any game is 3, so clearly today will be his greatest test of the tournament so far.
One thing I noticed yesterday in watching Cliff Swain, he's got a bit of an injury on his hand. I don't know if you know that, Aaron, but he's playing with his left hand. Something's going on his knuckle, and I was talking to him about it. He's definitely not telling his opponents about it, but there's I think a fracture or a ligament situation going on in his left hand. I want you to look for that today. I don't know if that's going to affect him or not, but I mean, he's the kind of guy who's so mentally tough he can work through it.
Yeah, I was not aware of the injury, but obviously that could be a factor. But to your point, he is a very mentally tough player, and after 20 years on tour, if there's one thing Cliff understands is how to play through injuries.
Let's go down to the court and see what Cliff has to say about this match against Alvaro Beltran.
Well, there is a point, coming into the tournament, I think about anyone I could play. I think about how nice it would be to win. I think about how terrible it would be to lose. But once we're out there, I try and just take it one point at a time, because if you start thinking of all the outside stuff, all the, the trophies and the prestige and all that, then you lose focus of the task at hand. I did break the knuckle on the left hand, and I have some ligament damage on the pinky, but I've been in much worse shape and won, and I've been perfectly healthy and lost. So it doesn't matter. Everyone's a little bit beat up, and there's certainly no excuses out here at this weekend. I feel like if I play my game, stay really, really aggressive, keep the pressure on him, try and take the first shot, be aggressive before him, I usually do okay with him. So that's my goal today.
Cliff seems as ready as ever for this match.
Yeah, he is prepared. He hasn't been tested yet, but I think that he's going to be fine. He's going to play very tough. Big hill to climb for Alvaro to beat Cliff today.
So we got Alvaro Beltran, the greatest player in Mexico. Cliff Swain, the greatest player of all time. When we get back, this exciting quarterfinal match to this 2005 Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championship.
The Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships is brought to you by Choice Hotels International, family of hotel brands with over 5,000 locations and 8 different brands worldwide, offering every type of accommodation in every price range. We meet all your travel needs. For reservations, visit us at choicehotels.com today. Choice Hotels, we'll see you there. And by Wilson Art Flooring. If it's tough enough for pro racquetball, it's tough enough for your home. Enjoy the beauty and durability of Wilson Art Flooring, available at fine floor covering centers everywhere. Nikon, the world leader in digital imaging, precision optics, and photo imaging technology. Visit NikonUSA.com for a complete listing of all of our state-of-the-art products. Nikon, at the heart of the image. Also, Nuveen Investments, dedicated to helping you reach your goals in life. Ask your financial advisor today how Nuveen's growing range of equity and fixed income products can help you support your long-term plans.
It was almost 50 years ago when Danny Thomas had a dream of creating a unique research hospital devoted to curing catastrophic diseases in children. More than just a treatment facility, this would be a research center for children from all parts of the world. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital has always played a big part in the sport of racquetball. Every year since the US Open began here in Memphis, the players take time out to go over and visit these children. The Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships has donated now over $100,000 to St. Jude's. This helps in advancing the research and treatment for these brave children. Not only is this great for the kids to meet these professional athletes, but it's also a reminder to the players, and all of us truly, what real strength and courage is all about.
Here we are, Aaron, getting started. Cliff Swain, greatest player of all time. Alvaro Beltran. Should be a great match. I mean, should it be?
Well, it really depends upon how Cliff's finger is. He's not had a competitive match, and I heard his finger has been hurt before the tournament.
Right.
But he was walking around with some type of magnetic device on his left hand, and he's lefty. We'll just have to see how that impacts him. If Cliff is on his game, he's a very heavy favorite over Alvaro and has been playing very, very well this tournament.
Looks like Alvaro's got some wires hanging from the back of him, from the audio equipment, I think, but it's a great get. Oh, great. Just missed.
Now, Alvaro's got a ton of talent, and he's capable of putting together some great matches. Alvaro's greatest weakness is consistency.
2, serving 0.
Alvaro's serving.
Set up. Oh, that's an unbelievable shot by Alvaro. Diving forward re-kill. And Cliff, he is an incredible competitor. Plus, he recognizes he is in the renaissance of his career, and he knows that you get precious few opportunities to win the US Open. So I don't think you'll see him letting up at all here, even if he's a little injured. If there's one thing his 20-year pro career has taught him, it's how to play injured.
Yeah, Cliff is so intense and so mentally tough. I don't think he's going to let anything stop him from winning any kind of competition. It's just amazing. I mean, whether it seems like every single time there's some sort of competitive thing going on. I've seen him play some hoops. I've seen him play a little tennis, and everything is just about as intense as you can get when Cliff Swain's out there playing some sport.
Yeah, I've admired Cliff for many years throughout his career, but as he gets older, I appreciate his competitiveness and the effort he takes into sustaining his ability. Cliff is in great shape. He looks stronger and fitter than he did last year, and he's 39 years old, which is a ripe age to be playing this sport.
Alvaro playing some great ball so far.
What's interesting, well, Cliff obviously has all of the records, won all the tournaments. Career comparisons are not appropriate. Alvaro has matched up very well with Cliff, and they're 6-6 lifetime. So I suspect that Alvaro has a lot of confidence when he plays Cliff. And in the US Open here, in the quarterfinals, knowing that Cliff might be a little bit hurt, I would think we're going to see a very confident Alvaro Beltran coming out, seeing that this could be a great opportunity to advance to the semifinals of the US Open.
Wow. Great hands on both players.
Skip ball, skip it. Point.
I didn't see him skip that ball, Sean. Did he skip that ball?
You know, from this angle, it's kind of tough, but it did seem kind of funny. So I mean, it might have been a good call. We'll have to take another look.
That's a decisive response, Sean.
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty strong. That'll hold up in court.
Boy, Cliff is really off to a rugged start, and Alvaro is looking great. Very pumped up, very, very confident.
Alvaro going with a lob to the backhand. Keep forgetting Cliff, he's a lefty.
Boy. And Alvaro is just all over Cliff, and we talked a lot about this last week during the match, Sean.
You can never count Cliff Swain out, though, Aaron.
No. Even though this is certainly not the start, he hoped to orchestrate. Set up.
That's tough. You know, you've got some stats in front of you. I was curious about just the overall win-loss records of both these players.
Yeah, they're 6-6 against each other, which once again, there's not many people who have played Cliff 12 times who can claim a 500 batting average. Now, when you get into the lifetime records, it's not fair to Alvaro. Cliff, widely recognized as the greatest ever, has won 639 matches and lost 157 for over an 80% winning one-loss record. Alvaro, not shabby, has a 105-62 lifetime tour record, a winning percentage of 62%. But once again, it's not fair to Alvaro to compare lifetime records when playing Cliff. I think he wants to focus on the lifetime head-to-head, which is 6-6. Great get. I don't like that play at all.
You know, if it would have been a better angle,
I don't
possibly,
like the play.
but yeah.
I don't like the play. He really rushed it. You know, hitting it up high like that made it very, very difficult to do much with the ball. And Alvaro, who gets up so quickly, the chances of him getting Alvaro caught off balance were pretty slim. To me, that's a sign of that Cliff, you know, as much experience as he has and as long as he's been at this and as many times he's been to the quarters of the US Open, I think he looks a little bit tight to me. Good serve.
That repinch is what Alvaro's known for. He's so good at hitting these corners from any part of the court.
Yeah, his front court game has really been spectacular this match almost any time. And I can see where he's matched up well with Cliff. Alvaro likes playing up front. Cliff likes pinching and splatting a lot. I can see where he would give Cliff trouble when he's on his game.
Already very, very quickly, Alvaro's got game point of this first game.
Yeah, and once again, Cliff's got to hang in there. If he can get to 4 or 5, break a little momentum, work his way into the match, because clearly he's not into this match at all right now.
There it is, game 1. As quick as it could happen, really. Alvaro takes game 1. We'll be right back.
We're back here in the second game, Sean, and Alvaro came out pumped up and just blew through that first game in 10 minutes, 11-2.
And still bringing it.
Yeah, and once again, Cliff, who's way off his game, is playing right into Alvaro's strength, pinching and splatting a lot of balls. Alvaro's just stepping up front and re-killing them all. That's a better shot.
Very aggressive play by Cliff Swain in that rally.
Yeah, played it straight in, ripped it cross court, forced Alvaro to flick to the ceiling, and then very aggressively stepped up and cut off Alvaro's flick.
We were here last year watching Cliff Swain and Jack Husak, one of the greatest matches I've ever seen played. 5-game, probably a 3-hour match.
A lot of intensity. Good serve there by Cliff.
One serves one. Even with the sore hand, Cliff is just the type to drive serve it for an entire match. Crowd loves that. Yeah, athleticism.
Phenomenal gets by Beltran. Beltran's putting an awful lot of pressure on Cliff now with his getting ability, because not only is he retrieving a tremendous amount of balls, he's doing something with it, and that really gets inside your opponent's head. That's a great get. Smart shot there by Cliff.
You've got to hit a perfect shot right now because Alvaro's everywhere.
Yeah, if I'm Cliff, he needs to start working the angles a little bit more, because Alvaro looks very comfortable leaning forward for the kill shots and the pinches. I think Cliff needs to open up the court a little bit, wrap some angles, go down the line. Watch out.
Yeah, this is like, I love it. It's like a boxing match. He's slugging it out in the center court there.
Yeah, and Alvaro looks great. I mean, Alvaro looks very relaxed, very confident, very energetic. Wow, that is an unbelievable shot. I mean, Alvaro hit a hard Z to Cliff's backhand right where you want to hit that serve.
Cliff swung as hard as he really swung as hard as he could.
Just scraped it out of the corner and rolled it out. Pinch.
Way short. It's unfortunate. It's just
unfortunate.
After a shot like that.
Sean, are we going to have to go through this again? Like last year, your blatant partiality towards Cliff.
Absolutely no favoritism in this match. I'm saying absolutely unfortunate after such a great shot to get the serve. Do you understand?
Thank you for qualifying that, because I get increasingly concerned that you seem to favor Cliff when he's playing.
Never. You know, it's equal favoritism out here.
And I know we talked about journalistic integrity last year, Sean.
Right. It's actually, I mean, really, it's my job to just do the commentary and tell the folks at home what we're seeing here, right?
You got it.
That's unfortunate.
Serving one.
Skip there by Cliff, and an uncharacteristic skip as well. Alvaro up in the box, 1-1, still looks very, very focused, understands this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Great get.
Nope, that's two. Hold it. That was two.
Boy, I got to tell you, Cliff is just playing very aggressive, cutting off every ball in the front court. There he hit an incredible shot, and Alvaro almost got it. He did not miss getting that by much. So far, both players are playing with a lot of energy. Cliff just has not been able to find any offensive weapons to penetrate Beltran with on a consistent basis.
And one of Cliff's main weapons is his serve, and he's about 50% on that drive serve.
Wow.
Quick hands.
Right now, Beltran is in the proverbial zone. Just about everything he's swinging at, he's just rolling. He looks nice and relaxed. You see him focused, head down, a lot of nice balance in the service box. Great shot by Alvaro. Oh my God. Boy, he is really playing focused. He hit a great shot that rally, Sean. It was kind of subtle, but Cliff's ball barely came off the back wall to Alvaro's forehand, and Alvaro, rather than trying to do too much with it, hit a nice hard passing shot to Cliff's forehand, to backhand, forced Cliff to flick to the ceiling, and then Alvaro just hit an incredible overhand pinch. Boy, this is
a bad miss there, but
yeah, really looking bad for Cliff right now. You know, I'm having flashbacks, Sean, if you remember the final last year between Kane and Cliff, where Kane came out all pumped up, got on top of Cliff, and Cliff never got in the match at all. Now, Alvaro is no Kane. Boy, that's a bad miss. Alvaro needs to stay focused. He needs to really stay in the zone that he was in. I don't know that I like this show of emotion here. This is uncharacteristic, with how he's been expressing himself this match. He looks like he's playing to the crowd a little bit. He needs to get back, head down, focused. Cliff is not somebody you want to let get back into a match when you have him down.
Drive Z to the backhand.
Flicks it up.
Oh, great shot.
Now that was Cliff's best point. He set it up with 2 good passing shots, forced Alvaro to flick to the ceiling, and then followed it up with the pinch. We talked a little earlier, Sean, about how comfortable Alvaro is up in the front of the court, and Cliff really needs to mix up his shots a little bit to bring him back a little bit so he can go for those pinches and splats.
It's a good serve.
Setter. 3-2.
Momentum is such a critical part of the game at this level, Sean, and so important that Alvaro stay focused, continue the momentum, not let Cliff get back into the match. Great get, set up for Cliff.
That's a great shot in the left corner. Boy, Alvaro is digging out some balls that are just generally not gettable for most players.
Yeah, he's the ones that are almost not gettable, he's getting and just popping up, and then anything that he's getting to, even if he's on the dive, he's re-killing if there's any opportunity to get a swing at the ball. Great serve, set up.
Right in the corner. Great shot. All tied up here, 3-all.
Cliff looks way better now. I don't know. I don't want to overplay the importance of 1 point, Sean, but it was 3-1. Cliff really looked out of it, gave Alvaro a setup in the center of the court. Alvaro just tanked that forehand rather than at 4-1. Now we're at 3-3 with Cliff look like he's starting to relax, ease his way back in. Now that's something you don't see at the pro level too often. Cliff hit a serve, and it came back and hit him.
I call the ball that pitcher afterwards. 3-3.
Cliff was asking if Jason said something while he was in the middle of his motion, but I don't know. He just hit it right back at himself and hit himself.
Yeah,
I mean,
uncharacteristic error. Great shot by Cliff.
Got it.
Nope, Jude, hold it.
Cliff will look at Jason for that.
Yeah, and I think rightfully look at Jason. Yeah, that was clearly a 2-bounce get. And I have a little bit of empathy for Jason. We've talked about that last week during the match, Sean. When you're a referee at this level, and these guys are playing so close to each other, diving all over the place, such spectacular athletes, to not have the help of having linesmen and have to make all of those calls on your own is not an enviable position to be in.
Cliff looking to try to take the first lead.
Good shot.
That's a bad call.
That's a bad call.
Against a bad call. Good. 4-3.
Now, I will say Cliff has a great poker face. He will take a call, and you'd look at his face, and you'd never know that he was taking it. But this one, even Cliff looks a little guilty taking that one.
I don't think so. I don't think he's worried about it one bit. Cliff will sleep well taking that.
Well, there's obviously nothing injured about his right hand. You saw Cliff punching the wall there in frustration, knew he had just gotten a good call and probably wanted to build some momentum off it. Alvaro going to the lob serve for the first time. Hits it perfectly. Cliff hits a good ceiling ball. Boy, that's great racquetball. Alvaro hits a perfect lob nick to the backhand. Cliff doesn't force it, hits a beautiful ceiling ball. Alvaro tries to do a little too much with it by letting it come off the back wall and skips it.
Cliff goes to the drive down to the backhand. Wow, I don't know about the shot selection there with Cliff.
Yeah,
a couple opportunities to hit a corner and hit it right back to him.
Alvaro won that point, but Alvaro's level has really dropped. I'm hate to harp on it, Sean, but I'm going to. I keep going back to that point at 3-1 where he missed the shot, and rather than just going back, returning serve, getting back in it, he got a little bit animated, looked like he was playing to the crowd a little bit. Just looks to me like he lost a little bit of that edge after that point.
Cliffy might have done something to his shoulder on that. Yeah, he should have left his feet, lunged forward. I don't know, maybe if he was off balance or something, but great get from Alvaro Beltran.
Yeah, he is really moving. He's getting to a ton of balls. And once again, we talked about it. Not only did he get to that last one on the dive, but he actually was able to do something with it.
It's 4-4 in game 2. We're going to take a little break. When we get back, more of the 2005 Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships. All tied up here in game 2, 4-apiece. Alvaro took game 1 fairly easily. Now Cliff kind of making a run, making it a little bit more difficult.
Wow. Boy, his hands have just been spectacular this match. That is not an easy shot. I mean, he was stretched out, moving forward, still had the presence of mind to flick that ball into the left corner. Really quick hands.
Alvaro serving at 5-4. It's a drive to the backhand of Cliff. Gets it. Good shot. I agree.
I didn't see it, so I'll agree with you, Sean. I saw it hit the crack, but then I was screened by one of the gentlemen in front of me, so I couldn't see if he was able to dig it out of the crack, so I'll take your biased word for it. Good serve, wallpaper there. You remember last week we talked about that wallpaper ball where the player is able to slide it on the wall to where there's no space between the ball and the wall. Thus, the title, Wallpaper. Critical juncture of this match, Sean. Alvaro won 11-2. Things have gotten a little tight here. If he can get on a run here and get out of this game, he can really pick up some of that momentum. Conversely, if Cliff can sneak out this game, work his way back into the match, I can see the tide really turning in his favor. And it is a critical, critical point of the match right here. Really see how Alvaro responds under the lights. Big match, US Open. He's only advanced to the semifinals once before, playing the greatest player ever. And I've heard some murmurs, Sean, that at this tournament, Cliff will be announcing his retirement. Now, really? I sure didn't hear that from Cliff, but I heard it from some folks in the crowd, so I don't want to put any credibility to it. But even if it's not the last tournament for Cliff, I have to believe that Cliff is more and more aware of his racquetball mortality at this point and understands that every opportunity like this he must seize. Sure, living by the Carpe Diem philosophy.
Well, if that is the truth, that is some big news. Ending a 22-year career. I think they said that's the 22nd year on tour.
I believe it.
That's
well, we can figure it out. He won his first pro stop
in '84
in Tulsa in 1985 in his second year on tour, his 9th tournament. So he started it in '84. So this is probably his 22nd year on tour. That is phenomenal. You know, the only player who's got anywhere near the longevity record of Cliff is Marty Hogan.
Alvaro sticking with that drive to the backhand. Well, that's a good serve. Very tough.
Created a little bit of space here, up 8-6.
8-6.
Boy, you gotta love Alvaro with that ball was clearly 2 bounces, but the sincerity in which he's arguing the call, you would never know it. He must believe he got it. I don't even think it was close, Sean. But Alvaro, who is known for being a good sport, may have thought he got his racket underneath that ball.
That's it. Game number 2, Cliff Swain serve, 6, 7, 8.
Cliff Swain with a big serve. Got a skip out of Alvaro. Gets a point, 7-6. I'm sorry, 7 serving 8. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is not a well-played rally. Oh, my gosh.
That was unbelievable. Look,
That
yeah, I'd be
was-
frustrated too.
That was not a rally you typically see at this level of play, Sean. Not only was the execution not good, but the shot selection, it was a mental break for both players. Let's see if they can get focused. You see Cliff taking a lot of time in between points here.
Yeah, Cliff started by taking that overhead from shoulder high when he had all kinds of room to back up and take it from the knees. But we're going to take another break here as it's 8-all in game 2. More of the quarterfinals when we return.
The Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships is brought to you by Choice Hotels International, family of hotel brands with over 5,000 locations and 8 different brands worldwide, offering every type of accommodation in every price range. We meet all your travel needs. For reservations, visit us at choicehotels.com today. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there. And by Wilson Art Flooring. If it's tough enough for pro racquetball, it's tough enough for your home. Enjoy the beauty and durability of Wilson Art Flooring. Available at fine floor covering centers everywhere. Nikon, the world leader in digital imaging, precision optics, and photo imaging technology. Visit nikonusa.com for a complete listing of all of our state-of-the-art products. Nikon, at the heart of the image. Also, Nuveen Investments, dedicated to helping you reach your goals in life. Ask your financial advisor today how Nuveen's growing range of equity and fixed income products can help you support your long-term plans.
It's all tied up here, 8 apiece. Cliff Swain sticking with the drive serve. Alvaro, came out smoking, Aaron, and I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah,
But,
he has not played as well this second game. I think he's fortunate to be at 8-8 because he's made a lot more errors, clearly hasn't been as consistent as he was that first game. And as we talked about earlier, this is a critical point in the match. If Cliff can get out of this game, I definitely see the momentum shifting his way. Conversely, if Alvaro gets out of this game, he'll have big momentum going into the third game. Boy, that ball was so short. That's a justice miss right there. Once again, Alvaro's got to block out the ref. He won the point even though it was a bad call against him. He's got to get refocused here. I think go back to his drive serve, see if he can get some of that momentum that he started the match with. Good shot by Cliff, set up, great angle. Cliff is really playing smarter. Great get. Wow. What a shot by
That was
Alvaro.
unbelievable.
He lost the ball in this back glass here, had no choice but to hit it behind his back, and he went for that shot.
Yeah, he did. He took a full swing at that. That was unreal. Oh, just missed that,
Missed
too.
it. Boy, he's got quick hands. Cliff ripped that ball across the court, forced Alvaro to dive to the left, and Alvaro still had the presence of mind to try and re-kill it. Just about any other player, Sean, would have been thinking defense in that situation, but Alvaro's hands are so quick up front, he's always thinking about that re-kill opportunity. Ooh, oh boy. That's a bad miss for Alvaro. Cliff missed his shot, gave Alvaro a great opportunity in the center of the court, and Alvaro floated his pinch, let Cliff come up and re-kill it. A good shot there. Cliff was so far back, I don't think he could have gotten to it. Big point coming up. 9-9 second game, US Open quarterfinal, Cliff Swain and Alvaro Beltran. Great
That's
serve.
a good serve right there. And a perfect shot.
Boy, Cliff has really played smarter this game. Pulled himself back, got off the pinch. He came out a little tight, a little hyped up. Looks like he's relaxed a little bit. He's playing a lot more one-wall shots, a lot more passing shots to move Alvaro out of the center of the court.
Now Cliff's got an opportunity to tie this series up at 1 game apiece if he gets this point here. 10 serves 9. Another tough serve.
Ooh, I'm surprised Cliff didn't cut that off.
Go, side up.
Oh boy, that was awfully close. I'm not so sure Alvaro got to that ball. Now this is where, as experienced as Cliff is, I've seen Cliff on numerous occasions lose his cool when a call went against him at a crucial time. I think it's very important that Cliff regroup, get his head together, and get this serve back, because if Alvaro gets this point, I can see Cliff harping on that bad call.
Alvaro gets the serve back, keeps Cliff from winning this game.
Yeah.
9 serving 10.
Cliff taking his time. You can tell he understands the importance of each of these points.
Go, short.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That was a big break for
10,
Cliff.
serving 9.
Another opportunity for Cliff to win game 2.
Great get. Set up for Alvaro. Good get for Cliff.
Oh, great
Good
shot.
Set up.
There it is.
That's it. Second game.
There it is. Second game. It's all tied up. 1 game apiece. We'll be right back for game 3 when we return.
Shot selection is one of the most critical parts of the game. As you can see, when Jason is behind his opponent, as you would be if you were behind your opponent, if the ball's in his hitting zone, he's going to hit a passing shot, or if it's out of his hitting zone, he's going to hit a ceiling ball, which draws me out of the middle. If you are in front of your opponent, as Jason is in front of me, that's the time when you pinch or you kill, which keeps the ball in front of the court and moves me forward.
All right, here we are. Third game. Cliff did a great job coming back, hanging in there, pulled out that second game, 11-9, so we're 1 apiece.
Short serve to get things
Good
started.
call.
0, serving 0.
It was a good call. Ooh. I am surprised that did not hit him. I mean, he was going right after him.
Yeah.
1, serving 0.
Cliff is something else.
And I don't know that I like the shot selection unless he thought he was going to hit him, so I wasn't thinking too much about where the ball was going to go.
Jeez, barely missed him.
Oh, short.
That's not a good serve.
0, serving 1.
Alvaro on the board already. 0 serves 1. See if Cliff can get a serve pattern going here. Wow, what a quick little flick of the backhand of Cliff Swain. Great shot.
1, serving 1.
Wow. Good serve.
That's good racquetball right there out of Cliff Swain.
Very crisp. Hits a great drive serve down the left wall, follows it up with a great down the line down the right wall. You know, that's kind of the old Notre Dame student body left, student body right.
You see, that might be a mental tactic right there. Alvaro saying, watch the short serve, just to kind of maybe try to get in the head of Cliff. Doesn't work, though. Oh, left that up. Good get.
Wow. Boy, things are not going well for Alvaro now. His game has really dropped off. Cliff really looks like he's calmed down, is playing much more relaxed, worked his way into the match. He's playing more passing shots, not feeding into Alvaro up in the front of the court. Alvaro really needs to turn this around.
Just guessed wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that's not something you want to do.
Well, he overrated his serve a little bit. He didn't think Alvaro had enough room to hit any shot but jamming it into the side wall. But that ball came off the back wall a fair bit, and Alvaro really did have some room.
That's just great positioning and footwork and Cliff right there.
And you see the big difference is you see Cliff really opening up the court with a lot more passing shots than he started the match. And that will serve him well when he does want to pinch, because Alvaro is going to gradually pull back because he's got him so off balance moving the ball up and down the lines.
5 seconds.
3 serving 1. That's a bad miss by Cliff there.
Yeah, he missed the shot. Once again, he deviated a little bit from his recent game plan of ripping it up and down the lines and cross court. Set Alvaro up. Let's see if he goes back to his passing game.
Nice get.
Great get by Cliff.
Skip ball.
Boy, Alvaro really, he's not looking good mentally. Really got overly relaxed on that shot, stood straight up, and just really did not move his feet at all and just flicked his wrist. And you can tell he looks way less comfortable on the court.
3-1 in Game 3. We'll be right back for more of the 2005 Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championship. And we're back. Cliff with a 3-1 lead. Both players have a game in the series. It's a great pass by Alvaro Beltran.
Yeah.
173.
Alvaro really needs to get some points here, get a little momentum going. Not a good looking serve. Boy, the difference now,
371.
how Alvaro is playing now versus when he started the match, where he had such a high energy level, such an intense focus, is a stark contrast. You know, we talked a lot about this, Sean, if you remember last week during Rocky's match with Jason. You know, this fairly recent generation of players consisting of Rocky Carson, Alvaro Beltran, Jack Huzak, Kane Waslinchuk. There's not a lot of physical talent separating them. I really think the difference between Jack and Kane, who have really established themselves as the top 2 players in the game the last couple of years, you know, in fairness, Kane the clear #1, and Alvaro and Rocky, who have wallowed a little bit while having very solid careers, have kind of wallowed in that 4 to 6 range. I really think the difference is the mental toughness and the focus and the intensity. Jack and Kane come out every match gunning, going for the throat, killer instincts, and you really see with Rocky and Alvaro that there's much wider swings in their intensity.
Absolutely. You know, Kane and Jack are definitely on another level. Kane on his own level. And we're gonna see them in the series play, but I mean, Kane seemed unbeatable for a while here, and the last tournament leading up to this, Jack got him. Jack got him 12-10.
You know, and clearly Cliff, you know, one of the greatest, if not the greatest champion ever, is cut from the mold of showing up intense every week, every match, every season, and that's why he's been able to accumulate such a phenomenal record.
175.
Speaking of records, you know, everybody's talking about the reign of Kane and how much he's been tearing through this IRT, and the only person with a winning record with Kane is Cliff Swain.
Well, and in fairness to Kane, that winning record is largely in part to when Kane first came on tour. I think Cliff beat him the first 7 or 8 times they played. I think the last several times they've played, Kane has dominated Cliff, similar to how he's dominated the rest of the tour. But Sean, I do appreciate you continuing to, promote Cliff and remain an unbiased journalist.
I will gladly wear a Cliff fan T-shirt the next time
You just missed a great shot that Cliff hit. He did a wonderful cross-court pass to get the serve back, serving at 5-1. Everything is going his way right now. He looks relaxed. He looks confident. He's picking and choosing his shots well. Alvaro is really going to need to turn things around to get back in this match. Wow, what a serve that is. That's a lucky break for Alvaro. We talked a lot about it last week. This is a unique court that they bring in for the US Open. It's a portable court that they put on 2 tennis courts here at the beautiful Racket Club of Memphis, so they can bring in this fabulous bleacher arrangement. And because it's a portable court, it opens up in the back half of the right wall and the left wall. If the ball bounces and goes out of play, it's a replay. And if the ball goes out of play in the air, the player who struck the ball loses the point. There you saw Alvaro hit a ceiling ball. It hit the floor and then bounced out before Cliff can hit it, so it's a replay.
Great serve by Cliff Swain. And no call.
Oh, boy.
He's right in front of me, I couldn't see it.
What?
So he's right in front of me, I couldn't see it.
And look
Yeah, Jason's claiming that he couldn't see it. Basically, he was blocked by the body of Alvaro. But, I mean, that's a pretty obvious two-bounce call.
Look at Cliff. This is classic Cliff here, showing his disdain for the call by the ref, which was a bad call, but at the same time keeping his total focus on the court as a champion should.
That's a great shot.
He is really in the zone. And, if Alvaro goes back and watches this match, which he may not want to, I think he's going to have to go back, Sean, to 3-1 in the second game when he skipped that forehand. That was when it began to unravel for him, and things have gradually gotten worse since then.
Yeah, he really didn't brush that off and get back into it. Oh, wow.
Great rally. Boy, these guys have some of the fastest hands I've ever seen.
That was great anticipation on the part of Cliff. As he juked to the right, came back to the left, and
once
right.
again, Alvaro, he's really out of sorts right now, but a great player has got to capitalize on a mistake like that by Cliff and make a run. Let's see if Alvaro can do that. Bad ceiling ball. Cliff is just in total control of this match. You can see the difference in Alvaro's body language. He's hanging his head. He's not swinging confidently. Cliff walking around, very confident, great body language. Really is executing his game plan. It's really going to take a huge shift in momentum for Alvaro to get back in this match right now.
And Alvaro just played flawless racquetball in game 1 and then lost it. Credit to Cliff for taking him off his game. Now Cliff is just playing amazing.
Yeah, Cliff is playing great. He's nice and relaxed. Quick hands. I mean, Alvaro did not hit a good shot, and Cliff just confidently re-killed it. Now, as we talked a lot about closing punch, finishing out a match, there's nobody who's got the intensity that Cliff Swain has in doing that.
Let's see if Cliff can do just that, as he has a lead here in game 3, 8-1. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Memphis, Tennessee. You're watching the 2005 Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championship. We're here in the quarterfinals. You've got the greatest player of all time up in the service box, Cliff Swain versus Alvaro Beltran.
That's a great shot. You know, good timeout by Alvaro. He's really been out of this match, looked out of sorts this whole game. Down 8-1, didn't want to give up the game, called a timeout, came back in, hit a great re-kill. Let's see if he can get something going. Boy, what a great return by Cliff. Alvaro hit a very strong cross-court serve, stretched Cliff out, and totally stretched out. Cliff was able to hit a perfect down-the-line pass. 8-1, Cliff all over it right now.
That's good serve.
Boy,
What's your call there?
that looked like a good serve to me, Sean. Just a perfect Cliff.
9-71.
Vintage Cliff, working the backhand most of the match and really setting up the cross-court serve.
Oh, wow. Just swung as hard as he could. I'm telling you, and it looks so close to Alvaro. I mean, it looks like he's barely missing him with the ball.
Boy, what a shot there by Cliff. Well, you can really see a difference in Cliff's strategy right now. If you reverse back to the first game when Alvaro hit that serve, that Z serve, Cliff would step over and try and splat it into the right wall. Alvaro would just be staying up front and re-kill it. Now Cliff is ripping passing shots. Alvaro's still staying up front, so he's forcing Alvaro into very defensive shots, that time hitting it into the back wall first.
That's a close one. No call. Calls it good. Alvaro might complain, and he does. Gets a technical and loses the only point he has on the board.
Yeah, Alvaro's really out of this match.
That wasn't short?
10-0.
That wasn't short?
And look at the field.
10 serving 0.
You know, Alvaro really needs,
What do we got?
needs to get his game, his head in order right here because he's totally out of this match. It's not as close as the score indicates.
And there it is. Cliff takes game 3 and gives Alvaro a donut. What a turnaround from game 1. We'll find out what happens here in game 4 as Cliff Swain takes a 2-1 lead.
The Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships is brought to you by Choice Hotels International, family of hotel brands with over 5,000 locations and 8 different brands worldwide, offering every type of accommodation in every price range. We meet all your travel needs. For reservations, visit us at choicehotels.com today. Choice Hotels, we'll see you there. And by Wilson Art Flooring. If it's tough enough for pro racquetball, it's tough enough for your home. Enjoy the beauty and durability of Wilson Art Flooring, available at fine floor covering centers everywhere. Nikon, the world leader in digital imaging, precision optics, and photo imaging technology. Visit nikonusa.com for a complete listing of all of our state-of-the-art products. Nikon, at the heart of the image. Also, Nuveen Investments, dedicated to helping you reach your goals in life. Ask your financial advisor today how Nuveen's growing range of equity and fixed income products can help you support your long-term plans.
It was almost 50 years ago when Danny Thomas had a dream. A dream of creating a unique research hospital devoted to curing catastrophic diseases in children. More than just a treatment facility, this would be a research center for children from all parts of the world. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital has always played a big part in the sport of racquetball. Every year since the US Open began here in Memphis, the players take time out to go over and visit these children. The Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships has donated now over $100,000 to St. Jude's. This helps in advancing the research and treatment for these brave children. Not only is this great for the kids to meet these professional athletes, but it's also a reminder to the players, and all of us truly, what real strength and courage is all about. Welcome back to Memphis. It's the quarterfinals, game 4. Alvaro really lost his head there, got a technical, and lost the only point that he earned in game 3 and lost 11-0.
Yeah, and we'll see. Hey, Alvaro's been on the tour a long time. He's been in this 5-6 range for a lot of the last several years. This is a great opportunity for him to step up and show that he needs to be thought of with the great champions of this game. He needs to turn this around, really bear down mentally, although I'm not optimistic we're going to see that, Sean. You know, we've talked so much about the mental aspect of the game. and the difference between the guys in the 5-6 range versus the guys who week in, week out are competing for championships. And this is a time where the Jack Huzaks, the Kane Wazelinchuks, the Cliff Swains, after being down 2-1, coming off a disappointing game, would really turn it up a notch.
Bad miss by Cliff. Had his feet set.
1-7-0.
Skipped what looked to be a pretty easy backhand, kind of routine for Cliff, but he...
Yeah, and Cliff does not like missing that shot because Cliff has the ultimate killer instinct. And he knows that Alvaro's down and that he wants to jump on him early, never give him any hope.
No. Alvaro playing great, though. Even with it around the back, he still hit a great angle.
Yeah, good point. A little bit sloppy on both players, but you know, Alvaro just needs to keep digging, hang in there, see if he can make something happen. Good shot. Well, Alvaro's looking way better.
3-7-0.
Certainly off his 11-0 third game loss. He's gotten off to a good start here. Looks like he's regaining his focus a little bit, taking his time in the service box, getting back to where he was that first game. Boy, that's not a good serve.
And not a good start for Cliff Swain. You know, you just would expect Cliff, like you said, he's got such a killer instinct, and when his opponent is wounded, he's the type to just put him down. But he's made a few errors here.
There, he went back to what game plan he had been using in games 2 and 3, driving the ball cross court, getting the setup, and following it up with the re-kill.
0-4. Cliff with the drive serve.
Hold it, 4-7-0.
Another skip by Cliff Swain.
Boy, I would have never predicted this match to turn around in Alvaro's favor so quickly. And you heard Cliff say too easy.
Now Alvaro off to a 5-0 lead. Sticks with the drive to the backhand of Cliff. It's a great shot. Alvaro's starting to feel it.
6-7-0.
What a...
5 more.
Boy, once again,
Not a good move. Not a good move to start talking. We saw Alvaro do that. And it seems like just for karma purposes, when he starts to mess with a good thing, he somehow gets broken.
well, you know, there might be a little bit of karma, but it's also a little bit of maturity and that mental toughness. When he's on a run, he relaxes a little bit, starts enjoying his own success a little bit too much.
Great shot.
6-7-0.
Cliff yet to score a point here in game 4. And Alvaro, who got a donut in game 3, is now off to a 6-0 lead.
Up to 2. 0-7-6.
We'll see if Cliff can hang in there, down 6-0. Clearly frustrated with how this fourth game has gotten started. Cliff in the service box, sticking with his legendary drive serve,
Hold it.
and he's on the board. Well, unless he gets a technical, we won't have another donut. See if Cliff can climb his way back in here, put a little pressure on Alvaro.
It's just great hands. The
Great
speed.
shot. And Cliff missed his angle a little bit. He typically likes hitting a sharper angle on that Z serve because he didn't hit it quite sharp enough. Alvaro was able to step over and pinch it.
What's your call there, Aaron?
Absolutely the right call.
If you don't see it bounce twice. How?
Bounce twice.
Well, that's the most vocal I've seen Alvaro.
176.
I agree with the ref's call, but I will say this. Alvaro is very sincere in his protest, even when it looks like the referee got the right call.
That he is. I mean, he's still. I mean, he definitely believes he got it. I don't think this is acting. Not that I
agree.
But I mean, I definitely think he thinks he got it. Nice.
I agree.
Again, we still agree. I think that was a good shot.
Great shot by Alvaro.
6-1.
Yeah, I'd love to see another tiebreaker. That tiebreaker last week with Jason and Rocky was phenomenal. I'd love to see another one like that this week.
7-1.
Momentum is a very fleeting thing, Sean.
It certainly is, and it's incredible how it has shifted. You know, we remember, as you referenced last week's match, calling a replay. Good call.
I don't know that that's a good call, Sean. Wouldn't mind taking another look at that. Cliff missed his down the line terribly. It went front wall, side wall, slowed down, was in the center of the court. I think if Cliff moved out of the way like he's supposed to, Alvaro would have had a forehand setup. I think I would have called it unavoidable there.
You don't think that was past him, huh?
No.
Okay.
I thought it hit the sidewall very far and was right in the center of the court. Great get. Great get.
Great gets by Alvaro. Relentless pursuit by Cliff Swain. Good stuff. What I was beginning to say earlier, Aaron, was talking about shifting momentum. What we saw with the Menino and Carson match. How many times the momentum shifted in that match, especially just the tiebreaker itself. We're starting to see that same thing happen here. We're going to find out who's going to dominate this game 4. Looks like Alvaro's got control so far. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 1 serving 7. Cliff Swain up in the box. Simple shot right there that Cliff missed.
Well, Sean, to start to whet everybody's appetite for a 5th game tiebreaker, which looks like it's imminent at this point, Beltran has a 22-12 lifetime record in 5-game matches, and Cliff has a 57-42 lifetime record in 5-game matches. So both have handled the 5th game very, very well throughout their career.
52-47 for Cliff?
Yes. You know what? This is what it's all about. A young player like Beltran coming up, looking to establish himself as one of the top players in the game, coming back against the legend Cliff Swain on the biggest stage in racquetball, the US Open in Memphis. What a great opportunity for him to establish himself.
177.
And Cliff, you know, Cliff never ever can be counted out, even in situations like this. I've watched it many times. Aaron, you know it well. It's happened to you. No, you know, 7-1. You can't call this over yet. That's tough, though.
Well, that's a great shot.
7-1.
And no bias as I give you that sort of information. I just want you to know it's a very equal
way of thinking as far as my favoritism for both players.
Well, that's an oxymoron. Cliff didn't hit his pinch particularly well there, but Alvaro was caught moving the wrong direction. So even though Cliff's pinch in the right corner was up a little bit, there was no way Alvaro can turn around quick enough to get on it.
One serve 7. Another short serve from Cliff Swain.
7, serving 1.
See if Alvaro can put together a pattern here.
Boy.
1, serving 7.
Cliff coming off of a short serve.
Yeah,
see if he can put something together.
Yeah, Alvaro really needs to stay focused here. The last thing he wants is to Cliff to creep back into this game. Boy, it's a beautiful passing shot and really mixing it up very well. You remember last time he went to cut that serve off. Alvaro pinched it, and this time he had a cross-court pass. Great mixing it up. Perfect serve. Ceiling ball's a little short.
Nice and easy stroke by Cliff.
Very well done. Alvaro really missed. And, you know, not to harp on it, we talked way more about it last week in Rocky and Jason's match because there were more ceiling balls. But at this level, if you're going to miss your ceiling ball, you want to leave it short, not hit it off the back wall.
Another drive serve from Cliff Swain. Nice shot.
Wow.
Corner.
Boy, that was a tight, tight pinch.
2, serving 7.
And by a tight pinch, Sean, a pinch shot, for those that haven't had a chance to watch this level of play before, is when it hits the side wall and then the front wall. A tight pinch is when it hits right in the corner, hits the side wall right before the front wall.
Wow. Speaking of pinches, Alvaro, one of the best at hitting the pinch shot, known for his ability to hit corners from all over the court.
Good angle there by Cliff. And Cliff doesn't look incredibly focused right now, but he's hanging in there. And Cliff's got that great serve. He can get hot at any minute, run 2, 3, 4 points, pull himself back in it. But right now, Alvaro still looks like he's in control.
We'll find out when we return. 7-2 in Game 4. Cliff up in the service box, 2 serving 7 in Game 4. It's a great shot.
Yeah, that backhand pinch is just deadly. Well, Alvaro's been stuck on 7 for several trips to the service box, which sometimes can evolve into a bad omen. He really needs to get things turned around here.
Good ceiling ball. Another great ceiling ball. Got the setup. Ooh.
8, serving 2.
Alvaro broke. Got the 8th point.
Boy, he just
Nice.
flat rolled that ball out. Once again, Alvaro missed that backhand pinch on the short ceiling ball. Seems to be a bit of a recurring theme.
It's a good Z serve. Really good Z serve.
Yeah, very tight. He did something there. He picked up the height a little bit, so Alvaro couldn't step up and cut it off quite as easily. He had been hitting a little lower, where Alvaro was able to step up and hit it right in his wheelhouse.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, boy.
No screen. You didn't see it. Go by his body.
Right there.
Boy, that was short. I'm surprised Alvaro's arguing for the screen. It was way short.
Way short, Aaron?
Way short. Way short. Inside of the line.
Wow. 4 serving 8 now. Again, this is the kind of thing that Cliff likes to capitalize on. Just a couple points is all it takes. And
good get by Cliff. Leaves it up.
Alvaro starting to miss his shots again. We've seen this. We saw this happen in game 2.
15 seconds, right?
5 seconds.
And here you see Alvaro involving himself with the ref.
Oh, yeah. This is a mental lapse.
Is that when the rally's over?
When he gets the ball.
New rules.
I mean, there's all kinds of different rules. We heard that it was when the score was called. And he said it was when he gets the ball.
Well,
Cliff.
I don't know what the rule is. It sounds like a subtle distinction. The one thing I do know is that Alvaro needs to be focusing on the court, not on the rule.
We'll see if he can do that when we return 8-5 in game 4. We'll be right back.
In order to start the rally, you need to serve. To serve, you have to stand between these 2 solid red lines, hit the ball against the front wall. The ball needs to travel past this second red line on a fly without touching the back wall on a fly. And here's what it looks like. And now your rally's started. Now that you've served the ball, your opponent needs to hit it before it bounces twice. Once he does hit it, it needs to hit the front wall before it hits the floor. If it hits the floor first, it's called a skip, and you've won the rally.
5 serving 8.
We're back here, 5 serving 8. Cliff Swain up in the box, serving to Alvaro Beltran. Skip ball.
Oh, boy. That is not a good skip. That was a dead forehand setup in the center of the court, reminiscent of where Alvaro started to lose it in that second game when he skipped the forehand. Very, very similar. Cliff has gone from 8-1 or 8-2 to 8-6.
Oh, anticipated that. If he would have just kept his feet set, he would have been fine.
Now, in fairness to Alvaro, he has mixed up that shot very well. He's pinched it, he's hit cross court, and there he hit it down the line. I can see where he's got Cliff a little off balance when he cuts off that Z serve. As you pointed out earlier, Sean, there's been an awful lot of close calls, and there, Cliff clearly wants to send a message that if Alvaro's going to stand in center court and take away the cross court, which he is permitted to do, he's taking a risk that he might get planted.
Yeah, that can't feel good either. That cannot feel good.
5 seconds.
Set up off the back wall.
Great
Set
get.
up off the back wall. And there you see Cliff really staying focused on his game plan, being very judicious, and when he pinches the ball, blasting the ball up and down the lines, exploiting the fact that Beltran has a tendency to push a little too far forward.
That's a good call.
Oh, it's clearly a good call. I don't know whether Cliff is upset with the relatively lucky bounce that Alvaro got or whether he thinks the referee made a bad call. See Cliff taking some extra time here. He's pulled back into this game. He doesn't want to let it slip away.
That's tough. You know, he started to play with his hand a little bit. You could see he was starting to feel it a little. And then comes back and hits a great backhand in the right corner.
Yeah, you know, Cliff looks good. I don't know how bad he's injured, and I know he's very, very mentally tough. But he looks very solid, looks crisp. He's hanging in there this game.
Yep.
Cliff asked for the timeout, and he'll take it.
And boy, earlier in his career, you never would see Cliff take a timeout. Another sign of, I think, how Cliff has matured as a player.
We're going to take a little break. When we get back, more of Game 4, the men's pro quarterfinal of the U.S. Open. We'll be right back.
The Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships is brought to you by Choice Hotels International, family of hotel brands with over 5,000 locations and 8 different brands worldwide, offering every type of accommodation in every price range. We meet all your travel needs. For reservations, visit us at choicehotels.com today. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there. And by Wilson Art Flooring. If it's tough enough for pro racquetball, it's tough enough for your home. Enjoy the beauty and durability of Wilson Art Flooring. Available at fine floor covering centers everywhere. Nikon, the world leader in digital imaging, precision optics, and photo imaging technology. Visit nikonusa.com for a complete listing of all of our state-of-the-art products. Nikon, at the heart of the image. Also, Nuveen Investments, dedicated to helping you reach your goals in life. Ask your financial advisor today how Nuveen's growing range of equity and fixed income products can help you support your long-term plans.
And we're back here at Game 4. Cliff serving.
Boy, what a great shot by Alvaro there. Just stepped up and re-killed that ball. Once again, Alvaro getting a little unfocused, maybe even a little cocky there, kissing his racket after hitting that shot.
Showing some amazing wrist speed and control. Nice get.
Great get. Set up for Alvaro. Oh, boy. Bad miss.
Wow.
Boy, Alvaro might remember that point.
Yeah, that was a couple bad choices.
Yeah, he had some real opportunities to win that rally.
Great rally, great gets, nice finishing shot by Cliff Swain. 6 serves 8. Cliff sticking with the heater.
Boy. Good serve, not a great serve.
Not a great return, really, by Alvaro.
Yeah,
I think
Alvaro hit it right down the center of the court, giving Cliff a relatively easy re-kill. Cliff really looks very focused now. This is getting dicey for Alvaro, who's squandered a 7-point lead down to a 1-point lead.
that's a great shot.
That's a
Off balance.
great shot, yeah. Cliff didn't hit that serve bad. It was a good jam serve, did not come far off the back wall. Alvaro moved his feet very well and flicked a re-kill. Was a confident looking shot. Alvaro got kind of a lucky bounce on the serve. It cracked off, came into Cliff's body a little bit. Cliff ripped it off the back wall, and Alvaro just hit a very calm, confident, spinning forehand splat.
(9-7), the lob to the backhand of Cliff. Goes to the ceiling.
Little good seal on balls. Nice ceiling ball. That's good racquetball on a pressure point like this when there's a tendency to maybe be a little bit tense or even a little bit hyper. To hit 2 delicate ceiling balls like that is a testament to how focused both players are.
Game point here for Alvaro Beltran.
Good serve.
And it goes to game 5. Another 5-game tiebreaker when we return.
Early racket preparation is a crucial part of stroke mechanics. As soon as the ball hits the front wall, you want to get your racket up. It's very similar to baseball. Before the pitch is even thrown, the batter has his bat up. Let's take a look at Jason.
We're back here at game 5 tiebreaker between Cliff Swain and Alvaro Beltran.
It's been a very seesaw match, very up and down. Neither player has really been able to sustain control for an extended period of time. Great opportunity here for Beltran to really step up and elevate himself to the upper echelon of the sport, taking out Cliff Swain, the greatest champion ever, in the quarterfinals of the US Open.
Bad call right there. That's real bad. Not a good call at all. Not good.
0-7-0.
Yeah, Cliff does not agree with that hinder call. I think it was a good call. Cliff's angle hit the sidewall, came in. Beltran was a little crowded, a little screened. I thought it was the right call.
Oh. And Alvaro sends a message.
Replay.
There's no rule about voidable if it's not.
Yeah. But if you're going for a reverse, you don't
Reverse?
get it. That's what it looked like to me.
Wow.
0-7-0.
Little exchange there between Alvaro and the referee. Alvaro thought the ball kicked out and Cliff not clear enough. And because he didn't clear enough, he went for the cross court, and it should have been an avoidable. The referee explained to Alvaro that he thought he was going for a reverse pinch, and that's why he didn't call the avoidable.
What do you think? What's your opinion there?
I thought it was a good hinder call.
I agree.
0-7-0.
You know, at this stage in the match, things are so tight, you really got to let the players play. You hate to see a free point being given up on avoidable unless it's pretty flagrant. Great serve. Good angle. Back wall setup.
Another bad call. That's another bad one.
Boy, now I'm
All
not
he's doing
sure.
is throwing his hand up and you're giving it to him.
No, that's a good call. I mean, he's
Yeah,
right his way. I don't
yeah.
understand why Cliff would argue that. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can tell Cliff is a little wound tight right now if he's arguing that.
It's like he
call,
just
'cause
got
there's
worked twice.
No question. That
Yeah, I
was
heard you. I heard you. This guy talks the whole time. I haven't said anything. Now you're going to start. No, shut up. Jeez. Only I get the technicals. Right?
0-0.
little repartee amongst the participants. Once again, I just,
1-7-0.
I think Beltran needs to watch this match and see the results he had after he engaged with the crowd or engaged with the referee.
Sure.
No, it's interesting. We're in the fifth game of what's been a pretty entertaining match, and both players look very frustrated with their game right now.
Just hammered that ball in the right corner.
Yeah, great play. That's good fundamental racquetball there by Cliff. It's a great passing shot, forces Beltran into the back wall. Once he sees Beltran going into the back wall, he steps up into the center of the court to cut it off.
0-7-1.
There's that pinch again off Cliff's Z serve. Talked about earlier how he's really mixed up that shot. He's gone down the line, cross court, pinched it. Once again, very good mix-up.
1-7-0.
Very good mix-up there by Cliff. Ripped across court, drew the weak return, and then killed it down the line for the backhand. You know, we talked a little bit about their 5-game record. some more statistics, Sean. Cliff's 5-game record after being up 2-1 is 11-5, and Alvaro's 5-game record after being down 2-1, I've got that in reverse. Alvaro's record after being down 2-1 in 5-game matches is 7-5, and Cliff's 5-game record after being up 2-1 is 17-10.
Oh, wow.
Great get, set up for Cliff. Wow.
Great shot in the right corner. He's done that a couple times now, just blasted shots in the right corner.
Yeah, once again, you might have, people who are not familiar with watching this level of play, that's called a reverse pinch. A reverse pinch is when you hit the ball across your body into the corner on the other side. Oh boy, he straightened up on that one.
Yeah, not a great serve really out of Cliff Swain.
No, and you can tell Cliff still has a little bit of angst in him. He doesn't feel totally comfortable. He knows he's not playing his game, but he's up 2-1 in the 5th game, and he's going to keep bearing down, playing every point hard.
2-0, game 5. Skip ball, 3-0 now.
3-0.
I'm not making any predictions, Sean, because this match has been very temperamental.
That's nice and flat.
That is beautiful. Cliff really stayed down there, moved his feet, took a nice level swing, didn't try and do too much with it. Just a nice, easy forehand stroke and killed it down the line. Great sign of experience. We've seen Alvaro overswing on a couple of similar shots. Boy, Alvaro needs a timeout. He needs a timeout badly here.
5-7-0.
He's missed a lot of shots. He looks unfocused. Cliff looks very, very relaxed right now. If I'm Alvaro, I do not let Cliff get back in that box and serve again. Let's see what Alvaro does.
You can see Alvaro talking to himself. He's got the body language. You're right. By taking a timeout, you got to know when to take it. It's
back wall set up.
Look at.
Boy, what's interesting is Cliff was complaining earlier about a hinder call just because Alvaro raised his hand, which is what a player is supposed to do, raise their hand, indicate to the ref that they think it's a hinder, but then it's up to the ref to call it. Cliff had complained earlier that all Alvaro did was raise his hand and the ref gave him the hinder. That one looks like it was a give-back call, and that Cliff raised his hand, and I'm not so sure that one was a hinder. Nice get. Oh, bad break. You know, once again, if this had been a normal court, not the portable court that they bring into Memphis for the US Open, that would have been a very difficult shot. Cliff diving, hit a Z-ball, front wall, side wall, that was intended to catch the side wall on the back of the court. But once again, on this portable court, it went out of play. Because it went out of play without touching the floor first, loss of rally, loss of serve to Cliff.
And Cliff off to a 5-0 lead in the 5th game of this incredible match. We'll find out what happens. This men's pro quarterfinal of the 2005 Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships. We're back here. 0 serves 5. Alvaro serving.
Great get, set up for Cliff.
Oh boy. Straight down the line and missed.
Boy, you know, he did everything right except hit the shot. He moved his feet, got behind the ball, had his racket back, went for the right shot, a down the line kill, and just missed it by a hair.
Oh, wow. Kind of hesitated there. If he would have just launched, probably would have got it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get it. kind of an awkward pinch. I don't think he thought it was going to pop up that high.
Five seconds.
Good get. Tough shot. Once again, reverse pinch on. Alvaro ran around the ball, came off the back wall on the left side of the court. Alvaro ran around his backhand to hit a forehand into the left side wall across his body for a reverse pinch winner.
Alvaro goes to the backhand. It's a
Good
nice.
get, cuts it off. Ooh, missed a shot.
That's quick hands by Cliff.
Quick hands.
Great gets from Alvaro Beltran.
Yeah, Cliff is so fundamentally solid. Hit a great passing shot, forced Alvaro to hit it into the back wall. Cliff immediately went to the center of the court, cut the ball off in the air, and then had the presence of mind when he saw Alvaro diving forward to move to the left side of the court because he knew Alvaro would have to rip it cross court. Great anticipation.
That's tough. Wow.
Good serve there by Cliff.
Very nice shot.
Good couple of points Cliff has put together here. One to get the serve back, and then there a good serve, and then a great down the line kill. And once again, we talked earlier about what a great finisher Cliff has been throughout his career. Here he is up 6-1 in the tiebreaker. Let's see if he can bring it home. Good Z serve, lifted it up a little bit higher.
Oh, just missed.
Boy, he just missed it, but you know,
He went for all the marbles on it though.
you can really see Cliff's experience coming through here. Alvaro had been cutting that serve off all match long. Cliff had the presence of mind to lift it up just a little bit higher to get it into the third wall. He just missed the follow-up shot.
But he just went for all the marbles on that overhead. Just unbelievable. Just full swing. Looked like he was swinging as hard as he could.
Yeah.
Just barely missed and popped up.
Cliff clearly looks like the more focused, the calmer player right now. He's really in a groove, serving well, returning serve well, looks very patient, very focused on his game plan.
That's tough. Very flat.
Boy, that was a great mix-up by Cliff. The drop that he just struck the ball on, he almost always hits the Z serve. So you saw Alvaro leaning left because he thought it was going to hit the Z, and then Cliff pulled it back behind him, and even though he didn't hit that great a serve, he had Alvaro so off balance, he drew a weak return.
And Alvaro takes a timeout. Rightfully so. We'll be back for more of this 5-game tiebreaker. We'll be right back. It was almost 50 years ago when Danny Thomas had a dream of creating a unique research hospital devoted to curing catastrophic diseases in children. More than just a treatment facility, this would be a research center for children from all parts of the world. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital has always played a big part in the sport of racquetball. Every year since the US Open began here in Memphis, the players take time out to go over and visit these children. Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships has donated now over $100,000 to St. Jude's. This helps in advancing the research and treatment for these brave children. Not only is this great for the kids to meet these professional athletes, but it's also a reminder to the players and all of us truly what real strength and courage is all about.
Serving one.
Good timeout there by Alvaro. Really needed to get his head back in the game here. Cliff is in total control, up 7-1 in the 5th game here, the quarterfinals of the US Open.
Replay. Just a replay.
That was a reverse pinch also?
Just want to replay that.
You know, once again, this has not been a good trend for Alvaro when he engages the crowd or engages the ref. There almost always seems to be a drop-off in his focus and intensity.
So Cliffy takes one in the back there, 7-1.
Great angle.
Wow.
Good get. He got it.
Good shot.
Yeah, I thought he got that.
I thought he got it. Got his racket underneath it, came back to center court, and Alvaro very wisely decided to play the next shot and killed it. You always, you know, at any level, Sean, if you're playing a match where there's a referee, you play the whistle, as I like to say. Until that referee makes the call, you keep playing, no matter how certain you are that there is a two-bounce or a skip. We've talked about in a recurring way here, what's a little disappointing is that at this level, with so much on the line, that there's no linesman to overrule the obviously bad call.
Yeah, that, again, we've talked about this many times. Just doesn't make any sense. But you know, maybe that's something they'll implement eventually.
Wow, great shot. Cliff did not hit that cross court with quite the force he had been hitting some of his other cross courts, and I think it made Alvaro's re-kill a little easier than it had been in the past.
Oh, wow, they have just been ripping each other. They're going home with some tattoos on their skin, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, they're leaving a lot of balls pretty close to the center and not moving for the cross court, so the player really wants to establish, if you're not going to give me my cross court, you're going to risk getting ripped.
(2-7). That's amazing how Alvaro takes a full swing while he's in midair.
Yeah, it's a great shot, but there, I thought Cliff was much more forceful with the cross court, had Alvaro a little bit more off balance and set Cliff up for the re-kill. If you remember that last one, Cliff stepped up and really didn't do much with the ball, kind of flicked it cross court.
(277).
Looks like Alvaro at least has found a way to get his head back into it and has put himself in a position where he can hit some shots. He's not talking to the ref. Looks like he's trying to regain his focus here.
Boy, it's a great shot. Now there, Cliff, I thought, hit a very good cross court, had Alvaro stretched out, and Alvaro hit a very difficult down-the-line winner, and he's gradually climbing back into this game at 3-7. Good seal-on ball by Cliff. That's going to be short.
Skip ball, skip.
Boy, Alvaro controlling that rally the whole way. Hit it a little bit off the back wall. Cliff had time, and I think he tried to pull it cross court a little too much and wound up skipping it.
Here we are again. You know, Cliff had a huge lead there, 7-1, and Alvaro starting to creep back in.
A little bit of a mental error there.
Now, Aaron, do you think, does Cliff take a timeout here? Is that what you...
You know, that's a good call, Sean. I wasn't thinking it, but I think that'd be a great play for Cliff to take a timeout here. Alvaro's got about a 4- or 5 point run going, and Cliff has looked a little out of sorts on the last couple of swings. But you see Cliff kind of using the new ball as a timeout, hitting the ball around, taking some time.
Alvaro serving 5-7. It's a good pass.
Pass by Cliff, set up.
That's nice.
That's a well-played point by Cliff. Alvaro made some terrific gets, hung in the rally. Cliff just kept peppering the ball, keeping the pressure on.
This would be big for Cliff here, as Alvaro coming off about a 4 to 5 point run. Cliff loses the serve here. There's a lot of
good serve. Great flick by Cliff coming off the back wall. Wow. Boy, that is a tough shot.
That's what I'm talking about. Now the confidence of Alvaro, now that he's ran off those 4 or 5 points.
Boy.
Cliff gets one opportunity to serve, gets it right back. I mean, this is what Alvaro wants to see right now.
Great passing shot by Cliff. And there, Cliff was very forceful when he stepped up to hit that shot.
Great extension by Alvaro. We're going to take a quick little break here. When we get back, more of this Game 5 tiebreaker. And we're back here. Game 5. Cliff Swain serving 7-5. He had a 7-1 lead. Alvaro started to creep back in here.
Yeah, every point now is critical.
Skip.
No! Boy,
I called it skipped.
Clearly skipped.
8-5.
Wow. So maybe.
Why did
it skip?
Right off 5 foot line.
I hit it with the frame.
No, maybe he is an actor. Maybe he's got us all fooled. That definitely skipped, Aaron. I called it right when it happened. I mean, you saw it, right?
I thought it skipped clearly. Looked bad and sounded bad.
Nevertheless, point for Cliff Swain, 8-5.
Did you think you got that one, Sean?
No, not at all.
No, you thought it was 2 bounces?
Yeah, I did.
Well, there must have been 3 if you thought it was 2.
Oh, you are something else, Aaron Katz. 5 serving 8.
Back wall set up. Good rip, set up.
Just amazing. Set his feet.
Yeah, really good fundamental racquetball there. Cliff ripped that backhand cross court, got the setup, patiently waited for Alvaro to clear, and then just pummeled that forehand down the line.
Looked like, you know, if Alvaro didn't get out of the way, he was right there in his line of fire and just barely got out the way, and Cliff set his feet and smashed it. Look at that serve.
Wow. That was a missile. You know, Cliff, so experienced, so confident with a wide variety of serves, moved over way further left than he had positioned himself any other point in this match, and just hit a great serve to the forehand, going back to the same position. And then hitting the jam.
And that's a great serve, you know.
Yeah, great serve and a great shot by Alvaro. Let's see if Alvaro can build some momentum on it, because that was really great hands to re-kill that ball off a tough jam serve. Great get, set up. Great get, set up.
Good shot.
Boy, that was an awfully relaxed-looking stroke there for Alvaro on a critical shot. He just ripped that reverse pinch.
That is great aggressive racquetball by Cliff Swain.
What great presence of mind. Alvaro dives, so immediately you see Cliff getting very, very focused that there may be an opportunity there. Alvaro flicks it to the ceiling. Cliff very aggressively steps up, cuts it off before the ball hits the floor and before Alvaro has a chance to get up and just punches a winner down the line. Very experienced, savvy play.
Yep.
Cliff asking if he has a timeout left. 2 points away from winning an incredible match, and he does. He calls the timeout. When we return from this timeout, we'll find out if Cliff Swain will get these 2 points and move on to the semifinals.
Time's in. Game number 5, Cliff Swain serving. 9, serving 6.
Welcome back. Cliff Swain serving.
Hold on. Dad's racket. Hold on. Yeah, the racket up. Good try. Very good. 9 serving 6. Good play.
Still 9-6. Replaying the point. You know, it's a bad shot by Cliff, but
you can tell Cliff is disappointed. He knew he had a forehand opportunity there, left it way up, and Alvaro hit a nice front wall, sidewall crack. Good flick by Cliff.
oh, not smart.
Boy,
I think it might have came off the back wall.
clearly was coming off the back wall. Clearly, I think Cliff was so off balance that he didn't think he had time to get back to the back wall, or it was just a bad decision on a
I
reflex.
got 7 or 10.
Sorry?
I got 7 or 10.
7.
See, that's just, I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, I don't understand his choices there. It's not working. Well, there's something. A lot of Alvaro fans in the audience here as he closes in on the lead, 8-9 now.
Boy, this match is scaringly similar to the 5th game we saw last week with Rocky and Jason, with it being seesaw, one player coming back. Oh, boy. Boy. That was a really loose, uncharacteristic looking point for Cliff. Stood straight up, took some very bad swings at the ball, gave Alvaro setup after setup. I'm not sure. For Cliff to have a mental lapse at 9-8 in the 5th is not something you'd expect to see.
Oh, wow. The Spanish-speaking audience here is screaming out uno. One more point, and
boy, what a great comeback for Alvaro.
Jeez.
All the way back to 10-9, serving for the match and his 2nd berth in a US Open semifinal.
And Cliff hits just a beautiful, beautiful shot. I mean, you say presence of mind, but just to keep a clear head and take that stroke when the match is on the line, that is just a true champion. Unbelievable.
Just flat rolls a forehand.
Wow. Ties it up at 10-0. The crowd's on their feet.
What an unbelievable shot. I mean, Cliff hit an okay serve. Alvaro ripped a pretty good angle, and Cliff just very calmly stepped over and buried a pitch in that left corner.
Wow. I mean, this is exactly what you would want in a racquetball match. Wow. Look at Cliffy pumped up. That is great stuff. I mean, it went from Alvaro being fired up to now Cliffy being fired up. Aaron, this is just beautiful, beautiful racquetball.
Hey, great stuff. Every rally now ending with a winner. Just a fantastic shot there by Cliff, burying a forehand down the line.
I mean, the crowd is just absolutely going crazy here. Now Cliff Swain with match point. Great serve.
And a great get.
And Cliff with the match. Look at that. Cliff Swain, unbelievable racquetball. Thanks for joining us, Aaron. I speak for both of us. Exciting racquetball. Until next time, more racquetball on the Tennis Channel.